Hello everyone and welcome to Prof Talks. Glenmark Pharmaceutical that is limited at Pithampur Indore has been issued a warning letter by USFDA on 11th July. So today's presentation is about reviewing the observations and the comments by USFDA in this warning letter. If we look at the details of this warning letter, the inspection of the facility was conducted from 3rd Feb to 14th Feb 2025. The firm provided the response on 10th March and the warning letter was issued to the firm on 11th July 2025. However, it was posted on the USFDA website on 22nd July 2025. This presentation is based on the public information that is available onto the USFDA website. So there are basically three important observations on which this warning letter is based. The first one is the inadequate investigation for any discrepancy or failure of the batch. The second one is to follow an inadequate return testing program, specifically with reference to stability. And third one is the establishment of laboratory controls, which specifically defines the method validation aspect. It has also one additional comments regarding repeat violations at multiple sites.
Before moving ahead, please ensure that you have subscribed to the channel Prof Talks and have pressed the bell icon so that you can receive the notification of upcoming presentations.
If we look into the detail of the first observation, that is inadequate investigation, basically point A and point B are provided. In point A, it states several dissolution failures for potassium chloride capsules during stability testing. And the point B, investigation of these dissolution failures did not adequately support the root cause. So if we look into the details of point A as mentioned into the warning letter, there are basically two root causes that the firm has attributed. The first one to the incoming API and the particle size distribution. So the dissolution failure was attributed to some characteristics of the incoming API and the particle size distribution. However, USFDA commented that the root cause was insufficient as process control was already in place and the same lot which was in question was used into both failing as well as the passing batch. The second root cause which the firm attributed was to a change that was initiated in 2021 and implemented for some particular solution content. So there was no scientific evidence to support this root cause. Also, the firm did not holistically consider other changes that might impact the dissolution. USFDA has specifically pointed out a change of 2017 which they consider might have an impact onto the dissolution profile. Also, the firm stated into the response for conducting a design of experiment to determine the impact of both of the above root causes onto the dissolution. However, they did not include other process parameters which were previously determined to be as critical for controlling the dissolution. Moving to the point B, the root cause into the investigation of these dissolution failures was attributed as the variations into the process parameter, and the firm suggested the CAPA to change the process parameter, though within the file drug application range, by updating the MBR and verifying the CAPA effectiveness after revision of the MBR. The concern of the USFDA as stated in the warning letter is the firm did not consider validation before revision of the process parameter to confirm the root cause. So it is an expectation here that the firm should have, when they are attributing a root cause, the firm should have considered process validation to ensure that this particular root cause is the problem, and then they should have implemented the revision of the parameters. There was other CAPA that was mentioned, that is experimental batches and technical evaluation of process to understand variability, and then it has to be followed by revalidation. So the concern, the original validated range was not supported. It did not adequately establish the revised processing parameters and did not provide sufficient information regarding design of experimental batches. For the first observation, the USFDA states that response to the warning letter should include a detailed investigation report with action plans to investigate the process of particle size management and retrospective review of all the process related changes. The protocol and report for the design of experiment study for investigating the particle size, as well as explaining whether these studies include other process parameters. A list of all process related changes since the launch of the project and their capability to impact the dissolution profile of the product. Complete review of all the other drug products with profiles to determine if additional drug products have adverse process performance or quality signals, including failures. A comprehensive assessment of the overall quality system for investigation of deviations, OOS, complaints, or any other failures, and an action plan to remediate this system holistically, as well as an assessment and remediation plan of the CAPA program. The second observation referenced into the warning letter is failure to follow an adequate return testing program for the stability studies. So in this, the stability testing for the site was overdue for more than 3 months and it failed to follow the return stability procedure. The firm completed the backlog of the stability study in around December 2024 and also established an action plan to control the further upcoming stabilities. However, the USFDA was concerned that it did not include the test result from delayed stability analysis into the response. They do not investigated the root cause for the delay, did not evaluated the adequacy of resources for the stability testing program, and the impact assessment did not include the impact on patient safety. Also, due to this delay, there was delay in detecting of the quality issue like the dissolution failure, which further led to the delay in submission of the FAR, that is field alert report, and delayed in the recall. So there was a complete holistic failure for delay, one leading to other event and other leading to other. So there was a 100-day delay for the dissolution failure thing. The response the USFDA expects to include is stability data from all the backlogged stability testing program and a plan if any overs like the dissolution occurs into the delayed stability testing program. Stability load assessment and CAPA assuring future resource adequacy. Comprehensive assessment and CAPA plan of the entire stability program. And all procedures that describe these and other elements to remediate the stability program. The third observation cited in the warning letter is failure to establish the laboratory controls for scientifically sound and appropriate specification. So this observation is specifically with reference to the method validation program where the firm failed to perform the method validation and verification. Senior management confirmed the use of unvalidated methods for the incoming APIs and the manufacturing DP. Some of the method validations were already completed and provided a gap assessment for adequacy of the methods that are used. They also included planned completion date for the pending method validations and commitment to perform the impact assessment on the distributed batches. However, USFDA cited the concerns that the gap assessment does not adequately address the lack of reference to method validation or verification for methods like in-house testing or elemental impurity testing, etc. The interim impact assessment does not scientifically justify reliability of the test results. Also, system suitability controls and calibration controls are not an adequate substitute for method validation or verification. The firm is suggested to refer to the updated USFDA guidance on Q2R2, that is validation of analytical procedures. So into the response, the USFDA has recommended a firm to provide a detailed assessment of all test methods to evaluate if they include sufficiently specific instructions to ensure repeatability, are supported by adequate validation, and are appropriate to the intended use. Assessment should also determine whether test methods used in stability program are stability indicating, and scope of the assessment includes any test conducted by the firm or the referenced contract testing laboratory. The detailed protocol to remediate and evaluate effectiveness of quality system in ensuring test methods are validated. The warning letter also cites repeated violation at the multiple sites for the firm. It specifically referenced the Himachal Pradesh facility where warning letter was issued in October 2019 for failing to adequately investigate multiple OOS results. Product was placed on import alert in October 2022. Then it was for Goa facility, warning letter was issued in November 2022 for inadequate investigation of the OOS for content uniformity. North Carolina USA facility, warning letter was issued in June 2023 for various GMP violations. The USFDA concludes that this demonstrates inadequate management oversight and control over the manufacture of drugs. The firm should immediately and comprehensively assess company's global manufacturing operations to ensure that system, process and products conform to the FDA requirements. The firm has voluntarily ceased the production of potassium chloride capsules, and the USFDA recommends that if they intend to start, they should work in collaboration with the FDA. And finally, the recommendation and conclusion. So, recommendation for the use of GMP consultant and conclusion, these are all the standard templates, which is a standard format used by the USFDA in all the warning letters. We will not go into details of this.
We come to the end of this presentation. Hope you have liked the presentation. Kindly subscribe to the channel Prof Talks for more such informative videos.